Well, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to what is the future of kitchen table cards and games. Today we're going to do a quick walkthrough of the new space to give you an update on that, and then we're going to talk about Spiderman allocations. It's not good. Spoiler alert. We are pretty much, I am putting the paint away tonight with the idea that I'm going to lie to myself and say that we're done painting. And shout out to my friend Donald, who did a ton of the painting. If you remember, this was all red, which is super hard to get rid of. But this is going to be obviously the play space. We got new LED lights in. I got to get the light covers for. The paint looks absolutely amazing. That is the play space. And then you can see our hallway here that we've talked a lot about into the bathrooms. Looks really good too. The paint is pretty much done. And, we're going to put the paint away today. I'm sure that over the course of the next couple weeks before we actually open, we'll find some other stuff to paint. We've got our snack area set up. We've got a nice fridge that I'm going to stock finally with drinks for when I'm here working. We're going to put slat wall up there. You may have noticed in the background of here, we have gone ahead and gotten the slat wall up in a lot of the areas where we will put product and that kind of thing. We have not gotten to build our wall yet, that we'll show you in a second. We got our area that's gonna be the display cases all ready to go. We are really moving along in a pretty good speed. I'm really excited for that. The front of house stuff looks really good. We're getting ready this week to start finalizing the build for the two countertops out in the play space area. And then we have changed the way that we're doing this wall. Essentially, we built it out and it makes more sense to have the door area here on the wall so our employees will be able to walk back here and walk through this little door area. And then this will be what is our singles shipping room. This is the table that we'll have built for our singles room. We're gonna do some waterproofing on the, this is ridiculous, but the hood that is here, because this was a restaurant, we're gonna do some waterproofing here to make sure no water can ever get in from the ceiling and that kind of thing over on this side. And then the back room, it's coming along. I've got a nice desk here that I picked up on Facebook Marketplace this week and a shipping table that we picked up on Facebook Marketplace. Not really updated back here, just paint. Just giving you guys an update like I promised. This is a lot of work. It is a lot of work. It's not necessarily more work than I thought it was gonna be. But it is a lot of work to be doing this and also trying to run what is, I'm gonna use the sander to hold my camera up, really trying to run what is a pretty active ongoing business as well. We're still open in our regular location. And so going back and forth with that, and then also trying to manage the online side of our business, which is obviously pretty bigger than the local side of the business. It's a lot of work, but I have some amazing people around me that are helping. And it's really fun. So shout out to Donald and to Cameron, who have been helping do a lot of stuff here. And I'm so excited. I think tomorrow we're going to do a video on kind of the why of why I have an LGS and what I want for this. But today we're going to talk about Spiderman allocations. Spiderman allocations are really, really, really bad. Really bad. Supply is something like 50% of Final Fantasy, maybe even less, depending on how your growth as a store has been. This is the first time I have ever really been cut hard on play boxes. Now, I want to give a little caveat to that. I asked for a lot more play boxes this time around than even Final Fantasy. But for Final Fantasy, I think I got every play box I asked for. For this, I'm getting like half. Now, again, don't hear that. I'm still only getting about half of what I got for Final Fantasy, or maybe a little bit more than half of what I got for Final Fantasy. But the cuts are big. And this enters this is us being in a new era for Magic the Gathering. And that is the era of Wizards really, really cutting back on print run. And there's a lot of factors that go in this. Number one, I think the biggest factor that nobody's really talking about is the number of different SKUs that are involved in products these days. It used to just be you had the booster box, right? Well, now you have the collector booster box and you have the play booster box. And then you have the bundle, and then you have the gift bundle, and now you have the scene bundle. And for Avatar, there's even more. There's a train that goes by here. It always scares me. For Avatar, you have the jumpstart stuff, and you've got the starter decks, and then the commander decks. There are just so many SKUs for Wizards of the Coast that used to not. I guess it used to not be that, because I know you used to have set boxes and draft boxes and collector boxes and commander decks and bundles. I know that. But it used to not be as big of a deal for Magic because the demand wasn't astronomically growing. But we're in this world now where the demand for Magic products is equal to the demand for Spiderman products, right? Like, not actually equal, but you get what I'm saying. The demand isn't just Magic the Gathering centered. The demand is centered around Final Fantasy and Spider-Man and all these different things. And when you had a simple model of the booster box, it was easy. It would have been easy for them to scale up and produce more of those things. But when you have just so many different SKUs to manage and to track and for stores to order, they're doing this new thing for Avatar. We're 2 months out. Spider-Man and Avatar allocations or orders were due at the same time at distribution because they're trying to get stores to put their numbers in long-term, far out, to help them figure out how much to print. But they can't figure it out. They cannot figure out how to meet each demand for each SKU, and it's way more difficult when you have so many SKUs. And then on top of this, you have this whole new market that has happened where it's not even necessarily the growth of Magic or whatever, it's just the growth of the flipper, the person who buys up a bunch of stuff. There's a lot of this going on with Final Fantasy, with Spider-Man, where people are just, because they know the issues in hand, they're just buying up a bunch of stuff. And so Spider-Man's going to be rough. And like, listen, it sucks. I put off making this video, and I'm currently working here to not make an announcement to my Gold Wizards and the Gold Wizard program of like allocations for this set for me were really rough, which means that for you are really rough. And what we thought and what we hoped to get, we're not going to get. And so people all across the board are going to be bummed about their prices. Now, for some things, it works out well for stores. I mean, like, for stores who have collector boxes of this are going to be every bit of $750 to $1,000. The price you see on the internet right now, it's just, there's not the supply to make it go down. There's nobody's getting thousands of boxes of collector boxes. Nobody. The quantity of boxes out there is just small. They are just not producing that much of this set. So we're in this new world where stores have to figure that out. And consumers aren't going to like it. You're not going to like paying MSRP. You're going to pay MSRP for play booster boxes. It's going to be what it is. Like, unless they get a secondary wave out very quickly, which they could do. They did that with the Final Fantasy Commander decks. We got a second wave of Commander decks really, really quickly. So if they do that, then that's great. But on release, I don't think you're going to be paying anything but MSRP for play boxes. And there's no shot ever. There's just no shot that stores are going to sell collector boxes en masse. Now, maybe you have a good, like what we'll probably do, you'll have a good local store who will do a small amount or a percentage of their stuff at MSRP. We did Spider-Man pre-orders already, and so we kind of had our Spider-Man pre-orders up for our people, but people didn't buy it, and so it's like so hard to know how to handle that as a store, because when you do it and people don't buy it, and then you get your stuff and the boxes are thousands of dollars, it's really difficult. It's a complicated thing to figure out. You end up selling a lot of boxes to people who just are out there to flip it. And that's complicated. That is a complicated cycle for LGSs. So in this market, it's really important that you know that at some point things are going to shift. At some point, we will see Wizards meet the demand, and as soon as they meet the demand decreases. A lot of the demand right now is as a result of people knowing that Wizards can't meet the demand. So as soon as they do meet the demand, a lot of that demand goes away. There's a lot of people who are flipping boxes right now. That's their game. That's their plan. And so if you're a consumer, a couple things you can do is this is a typical statement, buy singles. Listen, who doesn't do that? Who doesn't know that already? But a lot of people like opening boxes. And so one of the things I encourage this for Final Fantasy, and I guess I'm late on encouraging it for Spiderman, but maybe do it for Avatar, I guess, is pre-order. Pre-order the boxes. When you get the opportunity, pre-order. It used to be a bad idea to pre-order because you didn't know what was going to happen. But now I think this is the game. I think you got to pre-order boxes in order to try to get some at a lower price. So if you find a price that's $500 or less or whatever for a collector box, pre-order. A lot of people are just going to be upset with Wizards, and there's going to be a lot of people who quit over this stuff. There's people who already hate Spider-Man being in Magic and whatever. But there's going to be people who are really frustrated. And then there's just going to be the majority, the 80%, who are just like, listen, I don't care. This thing's not really for me. I'll play draft. I'll play at events. But I wasn't going to buy too many boxes anyway. I guess I just won't buy a box and they'll move on. They'll have a good day anyway. So it's all over the place. Let me know what you think about the Spider-Man stuff as you're looking around. I just wanted to share my perspective that we got cut hard based on what we asked for. But we asked for a lot more than we asked for Final Fantasy. But even compared to Final Fantasy, the cuts they're extreme. It's a lot. The cuts were rough. So let me know what you're hearing in the comment section below. I hope you have yourself a fantastic day. Continue to join us as we try to build a new LGS. I hope you're enjoying the behind the scenes on that kind of stuff. We'll do another video tomorrow. Have yourselves a great day. Be kind to the people around you.